you're looking at retail through the lens of classic, and you're always going to be disappointed.
I don't necessarily want Mythic Plus, but I do wish there was relevant small group content in Classic. Like, out to Skykill. R.I.P. to him.
We had
there was a Reddit thread about that guy. It was crazy.
Yeah, he's a legend.
It's for me all. When I logged on to this, I booted up Classic and I picked my Paladin. I was like, oh hey, this is the guy that we killed Heroic Lich King on. And like,
always comes back to that.
Like, and acknowledging that that's the way the internet works now, and as 30-year-old men, like, you just gotta accept it, guys.
No way Ian has ever talked to the classic guy. No shot, bro.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna dive into like the crux of the classic versus retail thing, but like, you're yearning for that nostalgia, right? That is like, you're yearning for a simpler time in your life.
Benefits everybody for all versions of the game to be as good as they possibly can be.
So, hey everyone, welcome back to another fun episode of Filthy Casuals, a podcast for and about the casuals, for the people not chasing a world's first, but love and build a part of their game's world every time they log in. I'm matthew.E, our host for this evening, and I think this episode has been a long time coming. Today, we discuss the World of Warcraft Classic and Retail Forum. And I'm going to kick us off by having each of our guests today introduce themselves, what side they wish to represent in the discussion, and for fun, they're going to define what Classic WoW is to them. And we're going to start with Alf.
Hey, I'm Elf. I'm representing the retail side in this. For me, Classic is a little bit difficult to define because I think it's like a gradual scale of when Classic switches from Classic to retail. I would say for me, Classic is basically vanilla. It's that sense of server, it's that sense of community, just like the OG game.
All right, we'll jump to Saint next.
Hey guys, play both pretty competitively, I would say, to a point. I do retail, Mythic Plus, and raiding when I can as a solo player. And then in Classic, we do mop progression server, raid lead, guild lead over there. Kind of wishy-washy middle guy, so I might have opinions on both that are both positive and negative a lot. So we'll just see where I land on which issue.
And what would you define as Classic WoW?
Classic WoW is definitely vanilla to TBC for me. I think even Lich King kind of strays a bit from the classic TBC formula a little bit. And then anything past Lich King is a weird definition of World of Warcraft. It's not quite classic, not quite retail.
Okay. And Karis?
I'm Karis. I'm a classic Andy, and I'm proud of it. And to me, when I think classic, I think the original trilogy, like Wrath, TBC, and Vanilla. But I also can see how you would want classic to be defined as just vanilla, like standalone, which I kind of get to. And then there's obviously just like variants of it where you go into like SOD, hardcore, things like that. But to me, it's the original trilogy.
Okay. And then Darrell.
I'm Darrell. So I would say that I am on the retail side of things. I did love my time in Classic, and to that end, I would define Classic as that trilogy, same as Karis. You know, it's got to be the vanilla TBC Wrath of the Lich King. I can again understand why people might just say it's, you know, the base version of the game, but I think in the context of the re-release, it's those first 3 expansions.
All right, perfect. Personally, I would say I'm more of a retail player, just to kind of throw my hat into the ring here. I'm going to represent Classic in this discussion, just to be a counterbalance to the people here. But I'm more of the moderator here than anything, so we'll see how that goes. But now to kick off the discussion today, there is a core premise that I've had everyone, whether they willingly or unwillingly, agreed to, and this is the list, right? So retail and classic are not competing games, and I think that's a very common misnomer that goes around. They're not competing with each other. They're just two ways of loving the same world, which is Azeroth. So there's some lighthearted rules of engagement for this evening. Rule number one is we're not going to do any "this ruined WoW forever" speeches. You can make comments and stuff like that, but no one's going to get on their high horse and just batter down on someone. Number two, every criticism must come with why it matters to them personally. Right? You can't just like spout things that's like, oh, the community agrees on this. Like, we want to hear from each person on why it matters. And then we're going to assume good intent from the other side, right? The retail person's not here to bash on classic. Classic's not here to bash on retail. They're just representing their side. So everyone agreed to this, whether they wanted to or not. So,
we didn't sign anything. I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, there's no signatures, but I control the editing power. So segment one is going to be really, really simple. It's going to be more the nostalgic piece here, and that's going to be our origin stories. So we have a goal here of just kind of like making sure everyone has their chance to bring the story in, because I think everyone's kind of started WoW in their own way. So we're going to start with where were you in life when WoW really clicked for you? And that could be a couple of moments. But it's just like when I asked that question, what was the first thing that popped in your head? And so we're going to go in the opposite order this time. So we're going to start with Darrell.
Yeah, so I think when WoW really clicked for me was like going all the way back. Is I remember being a kid watching X Play on G4, and they did like a WoW showcase. Yeah, I know, right? and they did like a segment on like a gnome that grinded the Night Elf rep to get the epic mount, and from that point, I begged my parents from when I saw that episode until my birthday, when I was turning 12, I think it was. I begged them, and they finally gave in, because it was a sub, right? It's a financial decision. I begged them, and then I remember where I was when I got my dad to agree to it. I was at my aunt and my uncle's house, and I kind of used my uncle's goading him into calling my dad cheap for not doing it to finally get him to commit to get in the game for me. Yeah, so and then I'll never forget, booting up the first my human warrior and wasting gold on a stable slot because I didn't understand the game. And then on a human warrior, bro, I was like, obviously I need a stable slot for a fucking pet, right? Obviously you need to buy one if you want to have a pet. So yeah, drop the silver on that. And then I think WoW really as a game clicked for me in Wrath in high school, rating ICC, and then that's kind of where my true love for the game started. I played from classic through, but I think Wrath is when it was those brain cells finally started rubbing together.
Gotcha. All right, Karis, same question to you. Where were you in life when WoW clicked?
I honestly have a similar but slightly different answer. I was also 12, and I watched an episode on G4 of Cheat, and I watched the all the weird stuff that would be oh, there's this Easter egg of this video game. There's the Nintendo camp in Ungoro, and I was like, wow, I cannot wait to see that in the game. So as soon as I got the game, I was immediately hooked. I was like, wow, this is incredible. But obviously it was more whimsical. I didn't understand the game, but I just loved doing whatever BS I was doing in the game. But it did immediately click for me. I was like, wow, this game is incredible. But then same as Darrell, as a actual understanding the game fundamentally and knowing what I was doing somewhat was probably mid-Wrath, TOGC Wrath, where I was oh, I can go into a raid. I know how to do good DPS for that time anyway. And that's really when it clicked for me. I know how to play this game and I understand the ins and outs.
Okay. All right, Saint, what's the story?
So it started with my dad, actually. He and I played together for a while in WoW. We would just do ults together to level 10 and then delete them and start over.
Delete them?
We would delete them. Well, I would delete them. He probably kept his, but I would just all right, I'm done with this character. Next one.
Mm.
You sure he didn't have you on a trial account?
Were you on trial?
Maybe,
Yeah, that must
maybe.
have been what it was.
I was 10. I didn't know.
Yeah.
You had the
Sounds like a
second
different
controller.
play.
The second
I
controller
don't
that
know.
wasn't
I
plugged in.
got to level it. And then that was probably like 5th grade, 6th grade. So yeah, it's probably a free trial account for sure. Now that you say that, and now I'm kind of destroyed. But I would say, and then in TBC came out. And then I played with my dad and my uncle, and we raided like Karazhan ZA together. That was a lot of fun. No idea what I was doing. They put me on Shadow Priest because I could give people mana back, and they, coached me on how to do damage, and that was about it. But then Wrath, I started playing with friends from high school, and we would just mess around, do raids together, dungeons. Nothing serious though. It was just like on the weekend, hang out. And I don't even think in Wrath I knew what I was doing, to be honest.
Mhm.
And it wasn't until Mists of Pandaria is when I started raiding seriously, and kind of clicked with me what was going on. And then I definitely probably fell more in love with the game on this classic run than I did back then, though. Back then I was probably more of a tourist and just kind of enjoying leveling and raids every now and then. But this session of gaming, wow, 5-6 years has been awesome. I've loved
Yeah.
every part of it.
All right, Alf, hit us with it.
For me, I started when I was probably 14 or 15. It must have been around November because I was like, I have a brother who's 11 years older than me, and I didn't have any money or anything, obviously. So I saw an ad for it or something, and I was like, dude, this game looks awesome. Like, we should check this out. And he goes, oh, okay, yeah, I'll go buy us copies of it, whatever. And my mom like freaked out. She's like, no, don't buy that game. And we were like, why? And she wouldn't give us an answer. Well, we opened it for Christmas like a month later after that. So like we both got the game for Christmas, and like I have such like core memories of like my brother didn't live at home anymore at that point because he was like would have been like 25 or 26. And he would pick me up over like Christmas break. I would pack up my computer and everything. I'd go to his house and we would like play like for the entire week. And I did the same thing kind of Darrell did. I started a Human Warrior, had no idea what I was doing. Like I went home, my brother calls me and he's like, yeah, I found this like train in Ironforge that went through an aquarium and took me to this like snowy area. And it's the coolest thing ever. And like, that was the first time I've ever played a game where like scale hit me.
Mhm.
Like, oh my God, this thing is huge. And then like played through, leveled up to, this is the very start of TBC, leveled up to 70. My brother got into a raiding guild. I was terrible. Like I was playing a hunter by then. I was so bad. And he got me to a raiding guild, and I got like taken as an alt like Kara or something like that. And one of the other hunters in the group whispers me, he's like, hey man, like I'd like to help you out a little bit. Like your DPS is pretty low. Like, can you tell me what your hit rating is? And I was like, what the hell is hit rating? And then like he showed me how to look for it, and I like it clicked in that moment, like, oh God, I'm bad. Like, oh no, I'm really bad. So like I started like Googling how to play and like reading that kind of stuff. I don't think I got good at the game until Wrath.
Okay.
By the end of Wrath, I felt like I was in like one of the higher end guilds on our server that we were playing on, and that I think that's kind of when it really started clicking for me.
Nice. I guess I'll throw my hat in the ring here. So I've been playing since vanilla as well. I was a Warcraft 3 kid. My uncle had gotten it for me for my birthday. So like I was obsessed with Warcraft in general. So like I don't know how I knew about World of Warcraft coming out, but I know I begged my parents for it. And I have a cute core memory as well. I remember it was the 5 CDs that you had to keep changing out. And I had a really old computer, and my dad stayed up changing the CDs out with me, and I fell asleep on like CD 4, and I woke up and he had finished the install and he was making the first character, which in hindsight is like totally rude, but he made the first character and he made a Tauren warrior, and I gotta hand it to him, he was like an old D&D guy.
Pick.
Yeah, and he made a Tauren warrior named Bullwhip, and he thought he was so clever. And I still have that character to this day. Like every couple of expansions, I'll like level him up to make sure he's capped.
Nice.
But yeah, so that was like my first. But like I ended up making a night elf, which is actually where I started playing with Karis. And I would probably say this is crazy. I would say WoW clicked for me, and I'm gonna get so much flack for this. is Battle for Azeroth.
That's
I-
long. That took a while to
I
click,
was
bro.
so I'm talking about like relating to what you guys are saying, like knowing what you're doing. I have never been good at WoW. Like Karis can attest to this. Like he was doing raids, like pug raids and stuff like that, and like I was making my 17th alt. Like I was terrible at the game. He was good at PvP. He'd carry me. I'd go make another alt. Like I was like always a tourist. And then in BFA, I started raiding with Jarrell and Karis, and it was like the first time it was like, here's the raid, this is the tier, and like we pushed it and finished it, and I went, oh wow, like I can play this game, you know. So it's just crazy that like I did all these expansions and I would never say I knew what I was doing in this game until then. So took me a while, and then, you know, classic
You got
came out.
there.
Yeah, I got there. Now I'm
You
decent.
got there.
So it kind of relates to the next question for all of you, but so like what version or X pack of WoW made you feel like this is your game? Like you're like, this is the best game, I'm going to be playing this until they shut down the servers. Like you all had a expansion when you figured it out, but what was the expansion where like, no, this is the greatest game of all time? And I'll start with Alf to kick that one off.
Hands down, Wrath. Like it was definitely Wrath.
Okay.
I would bet statistically that's true for most WoW players. Like considering that's like the height of the sub count that we're aware of. I can't imagine the sub count ever got higher than that after that. But yeah, Wrath was like, I was doing, you know, competitive raids, like doing the heroic raids in you know, Old didn't have heroic, but like we were doing the hard modes, we were doing ICC heroic, like, and I kept seeing like that was around the time like I think the term WoW killer started coming out, like so many MMOs came out, like Rift comes to mind, like that kind of stuff, like, and I would cop in and try them, like, yeah, this is trash, like this sucks, like I'm gonna go back to WoW. Yeah,
Conan.
like all of those. I think Conan was the first time I ever heard WoW killer as a term, and I looked at it and like I watched the videos, I was like, nah, like nah, that ain't it, dude.
So actually, this is kind of a fun tangent, but I actually love that. Did anybody think like tried one of the other MMOs and you were like, oh, this could do it? Yeah. Okay, Darrell. Yeah. The hand up. What was it?
Yeah, so I mean, so right to Alf's point, right? I did not play Wrath at launch because I was convinced that Warhammer Online was going to be the WoW killer.
Everyone said Warhammer was gonna. That was the biggest one.
I canceled my sub right before right before Lich King dropped, and I played Warhammer and I loved it. Warhammer was great. I really enjoyed it. And then I had some buddies in high school that I raided in TBC that were like, nah, dude, like, come on, we're still raiding in Wrath. I mean, it's Dog and Pagod, right? So like I was like, all right, like, yeah, I was like, okay, fine. Like, I'm not playing with anybody in Warhammer. And it was really bad because I had to like ask my parents, tail between my legs. I was like, I know I just told you that Warhammer was going to kill World of Warcraft, and I had to quit WoW. I'm gonna need. Can you run me those credit card numbers? That was
That's funny.
yeah. So I played that, and then I also raided in Rift in college when I took a little bit of a WoW break in between. I want to say it was in between. It was in
Mop
between
and
Kata and Mop. It was Kata and Mop.
Okay.
Because I quit at I took a break from the end of Kata with the intent of coming back in Mop, but I raided in, I think it was Rift was around that time. But yeah.
I think the only one that came close was Wildstar for me, because it was just like it had its own like different weird combat system. Like it had like what WoW is like retail has in like the Evoker now. Like where you had to target things, like you had to aim, shots. Cast, and skill shots. Yeah, that's what it is. Like that one, I felt like, okay, this could do it because this is like pretty neat. The world was pretty interesting, and like the combat felt good. But like all the other ones, it ended up just not making it.
Yeah. Karis, did you ever go for a WoW killer? I feel like you've been the most loyal out of everyone I've ever known.
I don't think I never got to a point where I was like, oh, I'm playing this game and I love it. Like I'm playing it for like months on end. But I remember trying City of Heroes and being like, oh, this is fun. This is kind of cool. I don't know if I thought it would kill WoW, but I was like, oh, like this is a cool idea because like I'm also like a big like superhero buff. I was like, oh, this is a cool idea. You get to create your own superhero or supervillain. and like there's like a city, like Gotham City-esque type thing, and that's like the world. I was like, this is a cool idea, but I don't think it ever crossed me as like a WoW killer. No.
Okay. And then Saint, did you try a WoW
Yeah,
killer?
I
You
did
believe?
Star Wars: The Old Republic for a good chunk of time. Because that was after Wrath, I'm pretty sure. It was the end of Wrath. And
Yeah, I think you're right.
Start of Kata, maybe, or later into Kata.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I kind of fell off the wagon on Kata. Just was like, not really. It's time. I played enough. Let's try this other game. But there was that. And then also is when League of Legends came out around that time for me. And
That's a big one for a lot of people.
Yeah, not necessarily a WoW killer, but definitely like this is my new game for now.
That was big for me too.
So I kind of stuck to League for a very long time outside of WoW.
Yeah, I would say I was in hindsight, this is me definitely like looking back. I probably tried most MMOs, and I think I was trying to find that sense of discovery and like everything felt new. That like I was experiencing in World of Warcraft, like from the original trilogy, as Karis put it. Like I tried Lord of the Rings Online, Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic, and like those first couple of months are like awesome. But when you don't have anyone to play it with, you're like, this isn't it, you know? And I think I always had someone to play with, so I never really felt the urge to like join a community. I was just like, oh, you know, is what it is.
At the end of the day, I think the fire of like trying to find a quote unquote WoW killer is people just trying to recapture walking into Goldshire for the first time.
It absolutely is.
Like that's that you're just trying to recapture that. And it's like lightning in a bottle.
The only MMO I played more than WoW is Lost Ark, and that's because I had my other friends play it. Like I played it because they were playing it. I loved the game; it was a lot of fun. But the only reason I stuck with it past a month was because they were invested in it as well.
Yeah, I would probably say that if I had, because I ended up reading Lord of the Rings like a couple years ago, and I would say that like if I had read Lord of the Rings when Lord of the Rings Online came out, I think I would have had that Goldshire moment, to your point, Darrell, because like walking into that world and being like, wow, this is Rivendell. You know what I mean? I would have been like, wow, they've like really like made it real. But I was just like coming high off the movies, you know? And I was just like, yep, exactly what it looks like in the movies. Cool. And then it fizzled. Awesome. Yeah, no, sorry for the tangent. To jump back on track, Saint, what version or X-Pack of WoW were you like, this is the game for me? You know, that it doesn't have a WoW killer, I guess.
It was probably it's actually probably Wrath of the Lich King 2.0 for me. Like it was that late for me because League was the game that I fell in love with after WoW and stuck with it much longer through its and still play today. But now I'm back on the World of Warcraft is the greatest game of all time. And every version of WoW I love. Like I love classic, I love hardcore classic. I don't really necessarily want to do TBC again, but I love TBC, love Lich King, love current retail. So right now is definitely kind of the resurgence of
so if it wasn't for like 2020 classic, you know, you would have left that throne, or League of Legends would have been on that throne.
Yeah, still probably. And you know, again, it's because a good friend group continues to play League of Legends. Like that's what we play to hang out. So
Karis, same question for you. What X-Pack did it?
It's probably late Wrath, but also like I don't know if I could pin down one moment. So it's probably like late Wrath, and then controversial answer, like all of Cataclysm. Like once I was pushing arenas on Cataclysm, and I got like a high rating, I was like, wow, I'm like, not only am I enjoying this game, I'm like good at it. So like, that's when I realized like, okay, I could play this game. Like as long as it like keeps going the way it goes, like I could play this game for like a very long time.
All right, Cataclysm.
Have you ever unsubbed, Karis?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I unsubbed in WoD, and I think I resubbed for like a month for every new expansion, but I never had like a long time sub until Classic came back out.
Gotcha. Okay.
And Darrell, what X-Pack did it for you?
Yeah, so I mean, I could probably point to a couple of like inflection points, right? Like I think first time rating in TBC, Kara, like that's like will forever live with me. Rating in Wrath of the Lich King, but like between TBC and Wrath of the Lich King, again, I quit after a little bit of Kata going into college, I was like, never gonna play WoW again because I'm going to college and I'm cool.
Same.
But I think honestly, like playing MOP in college, spoiler alert, like rating heroics in MOP was what really solidified it for me. It was like, oh wow, like this is what challenging PvE content looks like. I could play this forever. I mean, little did I know that, WoD would come and ruin that, but like I think MOP was what really was like, oh, if I could raid like this forever, I would just stay in WoW like till I die.
It's all good answers. I'd actually say MOP was also mine. I was almost gonna say Wrath because I have I have a lot of memories of meeting like strangers in Wrath, and like I remember like if you did the dungeon finder like 100 heroics, you got like a pet and like achievements and like that, and I just tanked like nonstop and like met people.
Yeah, it was the
like,
pug.
Yeah, it was the pug pet. Yeah, and like I had friends,
Yeah.
and I remember telling Karis about this. I was like, yeah, dude, these people like friended me on Facebook and stuff because like that was a thing. So like a bunch of like weird stuff like that. But I'd probably say it was MOP because to Karis's point, like I remember Karis being like filthy at PvP and he'd carry me. But then like I got to like go chill at my farm and grow vegetables and like max out all my professions, and like I could do heroics and like I would pug a raid here and there. I'd do world bosses. Like it was like I think MOP was the first time that I was like, I'm not very good at this game, but I got to experience everything.
There's still something for you.
Yeah, like there was something for me. Like I didn't feel like I was missing out just because like I could only get like a 1600 rating. You know what I mean? But I was like still having fun doing that stuff. So,
What MMR did you get to, Karis, in Kata?
I don't remember in Kata because Kata and MOP I kind of blur together. The highest I ever got was 2200.
Dude, I got to 2200 in Kata too, and I was just wondering, like, I wonder if we played each other.
It's possible.
That'd be sick.
Like that MMR pool, like after you break 2K, the pool of
You
people
play the same
shrinks.
people. You play the same people over
I really
and over
wonder.
again.
I really wonder if we played against each other at any point.
It's possible.
I love that.
Do you recall a orc hunter named Doomfang? Or a goblin resto shaman named Booty with a bunch of different alt characters?
Nah, dude, I would remember Booty for sure.
Booty was filthy.
I have to find out what battle group I was in, and then maybe we can see.
I played on Tichondrius back then.
I was on Deathwing, lol. So I was not in a very competitive battle group. But maybe.
Tichondrius was the shit.
As soon as you pick PvP, you transfer to Tichondrius because that's where like Dara McTire was, and like
That was
the PvP scene was there. It was the
original
first
streamer
streamer server. Yeah.
It is the OG one. Yeah.
You know, it's such a funny that you bring that up because I didn't even like have anything like ready for this, but I would definitely say that I think that's where WoW to me has like a shift. Like there were people, there were like celebrities in our games. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like there were people,
Trade chat
Pasto
trolls,
pop
dude.
in, like like there's just like the legends,
Yeah.
Damn.
Dude, man, it's funny. You mentioned you like friended people on Facebook through WoW. I totally remember doing that. It's crazy we did that.
Absolutely.
I remember I was in a guild because Karis was like doing his own thing. Like Karis and I have been playing this game like together since 2004. And but like I said, Karis was so much better at the game. So like he would be like, oh hey, like I'm doing these things, and I'd be like, woo, cheerleader friend mode, because like I'm like, don't take me with you, you'll get kicked. And but like I was with this one guild, and I remember telling Karis, but I was like, dude, they're like a family. And he was like, what does that mean? And I was like, it's like a husband and wife like guild leader, and like they're her sisters are like the thing, and like then like some of their his cousins are like, and
was he a tank and was she a healer?
No, because I tanked.
Oh snap.
So, but I think he was the healer actually. But anyway, so actually, kind of leading into that, like, so who would you guys say, like, when you played the game, like, other than this group, because I don't think it's a secret to anyone that's hopped into any of these episodes that we all know each other. Is there anyone outside of this group that we've all come to know that like made the game memorable for you? Was there people that you were just like, you had a different group of friends, that you were like, oh yeah, like if it wasn't for these people, I would have like fell off the wagon or something like that. And I think we'll jump to Darrell on that one first.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've made it, a secret. I think amongst this friend group, if Dog didn't introduce me to raiding in TBC, I probably never start raiding. Like I feel like that's like a core part of it is if you don't have a friend that is willing to say, "Hey, let me teach you the game," like you're never gonna learn it.
Yeah. Karis, what about you?
So there's two people I would point to. One is I'll shout out his Steam name, JCams. Shout out to him.
Oh man,
He was the one where because I logged into Wrath and I was like level 80, and like I did some heroic dungeons, but like nothing crazy. He's like, "We're going to TOGC tonight, so you better get your act together." And I was like, "Okay." And like it's not like me and him were like real life friends. Like we weren't just friends because of WoW. Like we just happened to also play the game together. And he's like, "We're gonna do a raid tonight, and it's gonna be great." So I was like, he kind of got me to like start raiding and like understanding the game more. So it's him, and then my roommate in college, who Darrell knows on a personal level, because I went to college and I was like, I'm gonna quit World of Warcraft. Like, I'm cool, just like Darrell. Like, I don't need this. I'm not gonna have time. And I moved in, and then my roommate moves in. We talk for 10 minutes, and he's like, "So, do you play World of Warcraft?" And I was like, "Oh, I did, and I wasn't going to." But then I resubbed like that week, and we just did arenas like the whole weekend. So
Nice.
And then that's been it. So
what about you, Saint?
Yeah, I was only in TBC and Wrath. I had a friend. I'm actually going to his wedding this July, so we still keep in touch, and it's very nice. He played with me. He's from Florida, so we were just like online friends. We were in the family guild together that my dad and my uncle were a part of. And we met through that guild because they knew I was a kid, and the couple knew, oh, I have a kid so and so's age. So we met that way, so that was cool. But then pretty much after Wrath, I was a solo player, and that's why I kind of stopped playing, because League of Legends was taking over my friend group, and that's what we switched to for quite a while. So only in Wrath and TBC, really. And then I met you guys.
Yeah, for real. Oh my god. 2020, best year of my life. 2020 to 2021. And then Alf, what about you? Outside of us, of course.
Mine would be my brother for sure, because like I said, I was really not good. I was 14, 15 when I started playing. I was really not good, and looking back, he did a lot of really subtle moves that kind of kept me playing the game. Like I started on a warrior in TBC, which is probably the worst thing to level, having no idea how to play. And then one day he's like, "Oh, dude, you should, like, hunters seem really cool. Like you should try hunter." And of course, I mean, my brother and I have been playing WoW ever since together, on and off, as life has kind of gotten more or less busy for us. And then other than that, the group I met in Classic 2019, there was a guild called the Nothing. I still play with a bunch of those guys. Now they've all kind of come back to Midnight Retail too, which is pretty fun. But a lot of those guys, they bridged the gap for me, because like I had my friend group of like real life friends that like all wanted to play Classic then when it came out. And then for some reason, all of us went a different way as soon as it was time to pick a guild. And I still have no idea why or how this happened. Like, it's not like I was the odd one out where they all like picked a guild and I didn't get into it. Like, everyone went to a different guild, and I still don't know why that happened. But like, if not for those guys, I doubt I would have stayed playing Classic. But because I've raided with them for so long, it kept me engaged in Classic, and that inevitably led me to playing with all you guys.
That's weird.
Yeah, I still don't get that. Everybody was so hyped about it, and then like of like 5 of us, I think we went to 4 different guilds. Like, I don't know why.
That's really weird. That makes no sense.
On that one.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Were you all warriors by chance?
No, they would want 5 warriors, dude.
Yeah, seriously. Can you imagine 5 warriors signing up for a Classic WoW?
That's a dream.
Yeah, but they don't want to compete with each other for loot.
It was so weird. It was just so odd to me. Yeah.
established we're all old, and we've been playing WoW for probably too long. And I bet if we calculated the $15 per month, it's a lot of money. So
I refuse to do that math.
No.
I refuse to do that math.
Battle.net should have a deficit
really
number
shouldn't.
that you've paid.
There's no way they would.
You know how casinos don't put clocks anywhere in the casino? Blizzard will never publish that number.
Yeah, I hope if Blizzard ever is going down, they just start dropping statistics that we know they have, but they're just the amount of people that have made a character on Moonguard for 1 hour, type of thing, just statistics out.
That's the only time I got banned from the games when I did that. The only time I got banned.
Did you go and heckle people in Moonguard?
Yeah, I didn't do anything crazy, but they just don't take kindly to you not role playing, and I got banned for 3 hours. I was like, man, I'm not coming back
in
here.
the arena right now.
Exactly.
So yeah, we've established it so that we're all old WoW heads. So it's kind of where we phase into segment 2 of kind of this discussion. So this is where we're going to kind of get into our versions, right? This is where we're going to start taking our sides. But we're not going to be making comparisons yet. So you're just going to really be focusing on your side. So Alf and Darrell, you're representing retail, and Saint, if you feel the question, right? If you're the flip flop.
I like it.
You kind of chime in where you're like, oh no, I do want to chime in on this one, but you're allowed to pass. So we're gonna start with retail, and Alf, I'm gonna start with you. But what does retail do that respects your time? That's kind of an open question. First thing that kind of pops into your head.
I think they've gotten a lot better about the daily grind kind of going away. I think most quests now are weekly, which I think is probably the best you can really hope for in an MMO like this. If you go to the launch of MOP, I forgot what that was like. No, you would better be on every day, and you would better be doing dailies for oh, I'm sorry, we weren't supposed to sorry.
Yeah, no,
it was true now though. It's true that
yeah. But it's just just focus on the main, the good.
Yeah. Sorry. No, I think the good for that is the respecting time thing is you get 2 or 3 quests that are you really want to do these things, and they're you get to pick what content you want to do in them a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. One of the weeklies is, do you want to do delves? Do you want to do dungeons? Do you want to do maybe raid is one? I can't remember, but I think those are really good because Blizzard's kind of recognized that hey, not all of the people that play our game raid. I think probably most of the people that play don't. So I think they do a good job of handling that kind of thing. The systems are very just drop into it and you're good to go. You can just hop into a Mythic Plus and you don't really have to do anything to get there. For better or worse. I mean, I think maybe challenge the proving grounds thing, I think is what it was called, was a good thing that they might want to do. But other than that, I think that it's just really good for allowing you to do whatever you want to do. One of our friends, when Midnight came out, said something kind of stuck with me, that it feels like you never lose the initial pre-raid BIS gear grind, which is probably, I think, most people's favorite time of gearing, where you're plowing through dungeons and doing all this stuff to get ready to raid. That feeling doesn't ever go away because they've set the seasons up in such a way that you're always progressing at a pretty steady rate, which feels really good.
Darrell, you're a little more of a serious player than Alf, I think, these days. So what would you say respects your time?
I think I'm going to echo a lot of the same sentiments from Alf, because I think that's what WoW does really well right now in retail, is it's very equalized, right? When I log on, I kind of okay, it's not raid night, so that means I can do some Mythic Plus. If I don't have time for Mythic Plus, the kids are only down for a 20-minute nap, I can go do a delve really quick. And I know that the vault, I'm going to put progress in my vault, and maybe it'll give me a heroic tier piece next week when I open my vault. If I don't have time to do a delve, I'll go do some world quests for some reputation, for some valuables, or for a doohickey to put in my house. There's always a list of tangible things that I can do to progress my character, whether it's player power or my account as a whole, right? Whether that's reputation grinds or, putting something neat in my house, which is fun because my wife likes to sit down and walk through the house on my character. Well, it's like, so it's kind of fun. So I think it really does a good job at respecting your time. And I think it's a really excellent version of the game to play as a dad and as somebody with a family that relies on them.
So I guess I do have a little bit of a follow-up question. So like when you say like, oh, I only have 20 minutes, like I can do a delve or something like that. Like, do you still feel that sense of fulfillment, or are you like finishing that delve and you're like, dang, I kind of wish it was a Mythic Plus instead?
So they added something, I think it was in season 2 or 3 of The War Within. I don't remember which one it was. But when you do a tier 11 delve, which is the highest level, you get myth crests, right? So myth crests are I'm always happy to see those, right? Because that means I'm either crafting a mythic level piece or I'm upgrading some of my mythic gear with it.
Gotcha.
So and I think it was 3 drops per week in The War Within, and I think they upped it to like 4 drops a week in Midnight. So even if I sit down and do a 20-minute delve, but as a tank, it's really closer to 7 minutes. Like you're like,
You suck. I hate you.
I just single pull the whole delve. It's like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, was that super challenging? No, but when I pull the whole dungeon and I have to rotate my cooldowns, it gives you that same gameplay loop as like a Mythic Plus, where like I'm managing a big pull of mobs, and if I play well, I can do it like that. Or if I want to death run and death skip, I can do that too. So it is very rewarding, I think.
Okay. And then Saint, is there anything you want to chime in on that?
Yeah. So one thing I love about retail actually is there's no lockout for raids. And my degen fun thing to do is just try and parse on raids. So I literally yesterday spent all day trying to get 90 plus parses in normal. And that
so
was
you're
so
just
much
queuing
fun.
up for any
I was like,
any
I'll
raid
do
that will
this
take
raid
you.
with you. Yep. And I succeeded except for the last boss. Because no one can kill the last boss on normal and pug. But that was a lot of fun. That was what the content I wanted to do. And as you know, I'm gonna say, in mob I can only do it once a week, which I love doing. Love rating that content, but just being, it's saving it from myself, kind of.
Yeah.
But in retail,
I think what
going.
Sane is really touching on there is like you can set the pace of play, right?
Yeah.
Like you can set your pace.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I want to be degenerate on Saturday and run raids all day.
You have the time, right? Yeah, you don't need to.
Right.
You don't need to find.
I don't have kids.
Yeah, you don't have the same 19 people that you need to get, or the 24 people. All right, so we're gonna flip to classic now. So this is where I will chime in and try and keep up. But so Karis, we'll start with you. What do you think classic slows down that in a way makes it feel more valuable?
I think this is honestly the opposite of the answer that the retail side just gave, because I kind of like how I'm grinding like Prebis and TBC right now, and I kind of like how I'm like, okay, like I have to do this heroic, this heroic, this heroic, and if I get my item, great, I can cross it off the list, and if I don't, I have to wait till tomorrow, and like that's kind of like good in a way, because like if I this might just be a problem with me and my like mental, but like if I was like, oh, I didn't get this item, I'm gonna run the dungeon again. Oh, I didn't get this item, I'm gonna run the dungeon again.
Oh man.
And I kind of like don't. I think it's kind of better in a way where it's like, okay, like you did everything you could do today. Like hang it up until tomorrow. You don't have to worry about it. Like you can just You try your best.
Can we save that point for like where we can argue about it? Because I think Karis is misunderstanding the retail aspect.
Yeah, well, hold your pieces, right?
Yeah, no. I just want to flag it. I just want to
flag it. We'll bring it back.
Yeah.
I will chime in that I think the biggest thing for me right now, as someone who's playing retail more, is I think classics slow down pacing of leveling. And I'd say that like goes all the way up into like MOP. The investment into your character makes you think and feel so much more about everything you do in the game. I think
that's a good point.
I think the min-maxing pieces of classic is what kills that vibe and that attachment. Right? Like I think like in the original vanilla, right? Like I had a hunter. And like I tried every other class, but like I'd always come back to my hunter or my rogue, and I would make sure that they got leveled up every expansion. And I think like in the redux of classic, you know, I had a warrior in classic, and then I switched to druid in TBC, and now here's wrath. You got to switch to DK, and I think like the min max approach is kind of what killed that, because you're just like, oh, like that class is bad this expansion. But I think like in terms of like you leveled up that character, like you feel that attachment, and you don't want to give it up, right? So like when you do finally get that piece, you're in love with it. Where I think in retail, like I have a hunter right now, and I'm getting a lot of great gear, and I'm loving it, but I'm also like, you know, well, at least when I get the tank, I'm going to just do all the delves, and then I'll get me to level 88, and then you turn in all the delve quests, and I'm level 89, and then you do profession quests, and you're 90.
You're not supposed to be comparing yet, host.
I know, you're right.
Host?
You're right. You're right.
Sometimes it slips
Call me
up.
out.
Can we get a mod in here? Can we get a mod?
I'm the
He's
mod.
the mod. You can do whatever you
I'm the
want.
mod. Do whatever I want.
Yeah,
No, good
the
point.
open Discord.
Good point. Thank you.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Keep honest. I agree
him
on
honest.
my own terms.
No,
So
that actually is a really.
He's the only guy who signed it, guys. He's the only one who signed it.
He
True.
authored it.
But that is like a good point, and like I don't know if it's the same in this type of landscape, but back in the day, like if you leveled up a character to max, like that was just your character. Like you didn't really, no one was going to be like, oh, I'm just going to level up something else that's better. Like if you leveled up, I don't know what a good example is. Like if you leveled up a rogue in TBC and you're level 70, you're just a rogue, and that's just what it is. Because no one wanted to level up again, or it would just take too long. Even if they wanted to, it would just take too long.
I mean, I would say my biggest relation to this is like thinking back to the classic progression or like the original vanilla progression is like, can you imagine being a paladin main and you got to wrath? Like, what an investment. That is like Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Like you went from 30-second seals to being
so
the
true.
best class in the game with the
Yeah.
Avenger shield. Like the feeling of looking at your character, you know, and watching that happen is, you know, is just something you can't. You can't. I don't think it's modeled in any other game, and I think that's what classic just always has done right with just being slow. I think that's how you feel it. Is anything you want to chime in?
I was gonna say there's a little raid perspective, so I'm thinking progression servers here mostly, and it's kind of TBC a little bit, but you know at this point in time how good your character is going to be. There's going to be no balance. You know how strong your character will be, so you can pick and choose that way, which is kind of nice. So it's a very small point, but there is no drastic changes coming in. You're not going to be surprised.
That's true. Yeah.
So, all right, cool. So we touched on the classic slowdown. So we'll jump back to retail, and Alf, we're gonna jump to you. So what systems in retail today are keeping WoW like kind of in your life as an adult?
M plus for sure. I think one of the last episodes we touched on this, like as a dad that doesn't have a whole lot of time, like when, you know, my wife has the really little one for the evening and the toddler is asleep, I know that like I get to jump on and get pinged the Discord server, and Darrell will always answer the call. It's like a bat signal, like pops up in the sky, and Darrell's there like, yeah, I want to tank your M plus for you. Like I just know that even if I have an hour or two, I can like make really, really meaningful progress with my character. And I think that I don't know if Mem Plus it didn't exist, how invested I would still be in WoW as a whole, because I don't feel like I have the time to dedicate to Classic, and I can't raid like right now. Hopefully next season when the kids are like a little bit, you know, on more of a steady sleep schedule, like both of them. But like for right now, M plus is about my game, and I'll be able to like stay competitive with gear and output from a character standpoint with other people who are raiding for the most part. Like I'm not going to keep up with a mythic raider, but I should be able to keep up with the heroic guys.
Gotcha. Darrell, same question to you. I mean, I feel like you're playing a lot of the systems, but like, what's your take on that?
Yeah, I think there's two that really keeps the game as part of my life, right? It's so the vault kind of acts like a battle pass system, right? Where if you do certain activities during the week, you get a reward at the beginning of the next week, right? And that reward is always slightly better than what the tier of content you were doing. So that always keeps it interesting, even if I don't have a lot of time that week, right? Or I have to take a season off of Mythic rating because I know my schedule is kind of messed up with, family stuff. But I can still target, Mythic eye level gear by doing high keys with, my friends, with my group. And then also to that point, I think the best thing that WoW did was put Mythic Plus not at parity with retail with rating, but close to parity. Where I might not be able to get the best Myth Track raid trinkets because I'm not going to be cutting edge and I'm not going to get Mythic drops off of the last boss. But there are still some competitive trinkets out of the dungeon that because I can get it at a higher eye level, I still feel competitive, right? And I don't want to compare it to other versions of the game, but that was not possible until Mythic Plus got brought up to gear parity, which I think was a Dragonflight thing. I think before then, I'd have to double check, but I think it's a Dragonflight thing.
It sounds like a Dragonflight thing.
We're recent retail Andy, so
Yeah, exactly. I fell off pretty hard, during Shadowlands and
that's fair.
Yeah.
Saint, anything you want to chime in on that one?
Just the lack of lockouts is really nice. That's about it. I just like that.
So now we'll jump back to a classic one. And Karis, I think this one will be interesting to hear your take on it. But what about classic makes the world feel more alive? Because that is the biggest thing I think people talk about why they like classic is the world feels alive. So hit me with it.
I mean, the obvious answer is the leveling, right? I don't think I really need to go too deep into that. Like the leveling is slower paced, as you touched on earlier. So like, there's always someone in some zone, and you'll always come across somebody doing like an elite quest or something like that. But even more so than that, and like I don't think this gets talked about enough, is how much everything in the game can be useful at max level. Like you can make I'm talking about just like vanilla classic, like you can make a level 32 fire protection potion that someone is going to use in MC or in BWL. And like you can be a level 30 and make that and sell it to a level 60. And I think, or you can be level 60 and just go into a lower level zone and do it yourself. So like I think it's something where you look at oh, this herb, this is a level 30 herb, it's not that big of a deal, but you do need to go and get it. You don't need to, but you could go and get it and it'll be useful for you. So I think everything in the world has its purpose.
Yeah.
And even if it's not an obvious purpose, it's not oh, you hit 60, go to this zone and do this. It's more of I could get a cheaper version of a fire protection potion if I go to Stranglethorn Vale and farm herbs for an hour.
Yeah, no, that's so. I want to say, to put my part in, I agree with you, and I think I take it a next step further in terms of, and this is going to sound stupid, but bear with me for a second. Is I think the world feels more believable in classic. And I say that in terms of power scaling. In most zones in classic, you're oh, I'm in a level 20 zone. And then you hit a point where you go, where am I? I'm not supposed to be here. You're in the wetlands and you find those red dragon, wormkin for the Onyxia quest line. And you're I shouldn't be here right now. And, or undead, right? You find Scarlet Monastery and you're hunting the Scarlet, right? At level 10, and then you find Scarlet Monastery and you're oh, this is probably a quest for me. And you're no, this is going to be 20 something plus levels later. And you're going to come back and you're going to fight this piece. And to me, that's what makes classic feel alive. And I think it ties into everything you're saying, right? There's herbs that you need. There's people doing quests. Sometimes you see a level 60 come into your zone. Why is the Western Plaguelands attached to the lowest level zone possible? It's just, there's so many pieces to it. To me, is that that was what made classic feel alive, was that when you traveled around, you were just
it's not linear,
and I feel that's so unique. To classic. And I guess I never chimed in. To me, classic is just vanilla, the solo expansion. I think anything past it changes it, and I think that's part of it. Saint, anything you want to chime in on what makes classic the world feel more alive?
No, I do think power scaling is a mistake in an MMO in general. our friend Eric's he mentioned it was nice to level from, if you're playing in Wrath of the Lich King, you have to go from Azeroth to TBC to Wrath, and that's kind of lost in retail, because you can get 1 to 60 in Azeroth, and then you have to do, I think, The War Within and then current content, and you're missing all this other past experience.
Can I ask a question about retail quick? Because I genuinely don't know. Do they still do it where it's like, okay, if I'm level 34, every mob is level 34? Or is that not a thing?
Every mob is level 34 that should be level 34. But if you go above it, it's not. So like if you're in Westfall at 16, Elwyn is at 16. But Darkshire is 20s, or I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it scales down.
At least
it doesn't scale
I think
up.
that's how it works. Yeah.
I think
the
so.
world scales around you. It's not like you can fight everything. It's just like if you are in a zone that is current for your level, like you can play there no problem. Like you don't have to worry about that. But if you do stumble into a zone that has a higher level bracket, I do think there's the level gap. But then again, I haven't leveled a character from 1 to 80 in forever.
There's a minimum. Like if you open the world maps and you click on the zones, like it'll tell you the level range for that zone, and that bottom of that range is the lowest it'll scale to.
Which is interesting because it's like when you pick I think you have to technically you call it Cataclysm. If you pick Cataclysm as your leveling zone, like technically you get like all of original Azeroth as your like 1 to 60 or 1 to 70, whatever it is now.
But you're not going to hit all of Azeroth. No shot.
No, you're literally, which is like, kind of how it was in Cataclysm anyway, right?
Sure.
Like you pick your route.
Do calendar for a bit.
Yeah. So we'll stay on Classic for just one more question here. And Karis, what kind of player do you think thrives in Classic? And you get to define player. Like I don't want you to take what I think a player is, but
it's tough because I feel like everyone looks at Classic and is like, I'm gonna hit max level and raid, which there's a lot of that. That's most of the players, I would say. But like if you just want like a good leveling experience, like you will thrive in Classic. Like if you just like I just want to progress my character up like a slow linear path, like you will thrive in Classic because like you don't like there's always people leveling alts or doing whatever, so you'll never feel like alone. And I think Classic leveling is the best the game's ever been in terms of leveling. So I think the only person that won't thrive, I don't even want to say they won't thrive. You just have to find the right people to experience the game with. Like if you're casual, like the game's easy enough where you can just be like, oh, we're not very good at the game, but we're all not very good at the game, so we'll go through this together. You just have to be with people. You have to play the game with people that are on the same level as you. So I think anyone can thrive as long as you find the right group, but the wrong group could ruin that for you. So it's tough.
Saying anything you want to try? Yeah, don't pick wrong.
I would say a group player who likes the group with people. If you don't, I don't think you can necessarily solo. I don't know. TBC would be hard for me to get back into. If even with Karis and our friend Eric's playing, like I still wasn't that interested. So you would really have to love what TBC offers, love what Classic offers. For mop progression, even I would say you have to love raiding in mop specifically.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think I would say that the players that thrive in Classic is going to be people who. So I have to choose my words here carefully.
Dude, it's hard.
I want to say the person who thrives in Classic are people who enjoy second wave old school MMOs.
Looking for that fresh opportunity again kind of thing.
Yeah, like because to me, right, when you say old school MMO, because I'm in my 30s, old school MMOs is EverQuest, Ultima, like RuneScape classic, right? Like, and to me, like WoW in 2004 is like the second wave of MMO style, right? The tab target. So I think if you enjoy that MMO style, right, slow group content, social interactions or forced social community, I think you're going to like it. And I think that's why things like OnlyFans and stuff like that took off, right? Because like it's forced social commentary and interactions and stuff like that. So I think that's like, if you like that style, you're going to like it. I am not 19 years old in today's society, right? Like, I don't have a TikTok account, so I don't know if that style like fits people's fun, you know. But if you like it, I think you're going to enjoy it. Yeah.
I
All
think
right. So
it's a good pairing. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean
no,
to
please
cut you
go.
off.
No, please.
It's a good. It's funny you bring up OnlyFans, and I don't want to like compare. I'm not trying to like take a dig at retail, but I think something like OnlyFans could never work in retail, just because of like how the game is.
We have to race the world first. I mean, that's basically it. Like our entertainment like that is who can do the most challenging content as quickly as possible.
I don't ever want to watch somebody level in retail ever. No.
The only way is like some speedrunner who's like, I leveled the max in 40 minutes. Like I might watch that just to be like, how? You know?
You know, it's interesting. In the other episode that Saint and I were on with Midnight, when we were talking about the pre-release and stuff like that, I think Midnight had said it. I think you guys had all seen that episode, but he was saying like when he was, the reason why he was like taking a step back from streaming was he was like, I don't want to be doing that type of content for retail WoW where it's like you have to be the best if you want to be a streamer on retail WoW. Like you have to bring something to the table that other people want to either like work towards or it's something different. Which to me is kind of weird. Like I feel like retail has so many silly things to do. I mean, and I'm surprised there's not as much.
Yeah, not to cut you off, Matt, but I think there are like niche creators that are like that cozy game version of WoW, especially now with housing. Like I think those are the two. That's the duality of content creation in retail. It's either I'm goated or check out this absolutely insane house that I spent 14 hours building that like is incredible, right? Like there's that clip that went viral of like they built like a fox looking into a pond.
Oh yeah,
you could see the reflection. It's like, and like that was a content creator who did that. Like you leveling and like the social dynamics, like absolutely that's what Classic is like about. Like that's the core gameplay. And I think that reflects in the content creation. Whereas retail, the content is the bleeding edge, right? Like that race to world first, or the cozy version of WoW that and that's like it's art imitating life, right?
Even the
looking
cozy
at the
part
game and
is the extreme though.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. It's the extreme part of that. It's the bleeding edge of both aspects.
Yeah, but like that's what I mean. Like I feel like I'm contradicting myself a little bit because I would say retail is also like I just started seeing people creating content that kind of seemed like easy core, I guess I'd call it. Yeah. And like but it's kind of funny because I would say they're almost stealing from the old school RuneScape classic community. But like I saw like Goldilocked is like a great series of him trying to like earn a token by only collecting gold in a zone. I saw a Tile Locked account where they have to do a certain amount of things before they can unlock another place to walk into, which is like literally ripped from old school RuneScape account from the creator Settled. But like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm always surprised that retail WoW doesn't have more of that popularized, right? I know there's people out there and I want to like get to know those people.
I would say like even the old retail streamers, so like Zaryu, Peekaboo, they got popular during Classic. Like their OnlyFans popped off
because it's personality based. Right. And I think you're holding a mirror up to what those communities like. Right.
But it's
like,
interesting to kind of jump in though, as I feel like when I was younger in 2006 and 8 and stuff like that, like I remember spending a lot of time on Warcraft movies. Like I remember Karis and I posting up downstairs in my parents' basement watching Tales of the Past 3 on a big screen because someone loved the game so much that they made a 2-hour machinima with voice actors and special effects. I still have that movie on a hard drive somewhere to kick back.
Oh my god!
That it's like amazing to me that like retail doesn't have people pushing stuff like that. And I mean, I bet that's like a commentary on like capitalism and the society we live in today. I'm not blaming WoW. I'm just saying, I'm like shocked, right? Like, I mean, someone, we were quoting, what were we quoting the other day? Jimmy, the Warcraft story, or Zinrath? Like,
was it Zinrath? I don't remember.
I think someone said the Professor Plum's line from Jimmy the Warcraft story, or you were signing up with Andor, and someone was just like, dude, you got to sign up with the Scryers.
Those are such classics too.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm like, I don't know. Maybe that's the part, that
I feel like you're yearning, like I don't know. I think I'm
Get
gonna
him.
dive into like the crux of the classic versus retail thing, but like you're yearning for that nostalgia, right? That is like you're yearning for a simpler time in your life. There's your capitalism, critique right there. Like,
but I'm just saying,
you know what I mean?
I'm just saying though, is like, I agree with you, right? Like I'm not contradicting that part, but I'm just saying is that like, I haven't done enough research to know, like, are people still making content like that? I just don't have it on my feed.
I think it developed into the content that people are producing, right? Those two bleeding edges, right? Of like the cozy core, like check out my crazy house, or like watch me 100% all the achievements, and then also like I'm leveling 20 characters and doing the race to world first, like that. Those are the type of content. That's the type of content that retail players are going to gravitate towards. Whereas like those long form machinima, like again, you're talking about retail leveling versus classic leveling, like it's attention span, right? And like the desire for the nostalgia. You're comparing content that is inspired by two different games, right? That was the premise when we sat down, right? They're not competing. They're showing love in different ways, and it's reflected in both the content and the gameplay.
Yeah, true. So jumping to the last question on this part for segment 2 for retail. So Darrell, since you kind of have a point here, what kind of player do you think retail is empowering?
Really
You're
and
gonna let him keep
enabling?
yapping?
Yeah.
I know.
Let him get it out of his system.
I wanted a soapbox.
He's already on it. He's already on it. Let him finish.
We said no soapboxes or high horses, Darrell. Come on.
No talking down soapboxes.
No, I think the type of player that retail enables is it's the two sections, right? It's like either the cozy gamer that is just doing world quest and normal praise and building a house and collecting pets, or it's the people who are really good at the game and then the people trying to copy them, right? It's like those are the groups. And I think if you land anywhere in there where you either want to be competitive, quote unquote, right, with the game, you're going to love retail. There's no MMO that provides that level of PvE challenge. And then also the world itself, like the new zones in Midnight are absolutely gorgeous. I spend a lot of time herbalism, just picking flowers. I love it. The game's beautiful. The music's beautiful. If that's the type of game you want, absolutely. If you want a compelling story, probably look elsewhere. It's good, right? Like the campaign is good, but it's not, it's not pure cinema.
It's not Final Fantasy 14 that's asking for 5,000 investment hours to complement. Yeah,
exactly. So I think there are a lot of people that will resonate with retail WoW that maybe don't think they will, if that makes sense. Like the player that wants to engage with professions, right, and just sell stuff. You could do that in retail very easily, and it's a lot of fun, and the system's very complex. You need a doctorate sometimes, but like, but I mean, there's people that there are people that there's a guy who's crafted all my stuff this week. His name's Billy Mays. He role plays as Billy Mays, and he wants to sell me a sword, and I love it.
Dude, I love that. I love that so much. Yep.
All my gear says crafted by Billy Mays, and I love it.
Gordon Ramsay does all the cooking.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yep.
Alf, like kind of same question here. Like, what kind of player do you agree with Darrell here? Do you think there's another player that's being empowered or enabled?
I think I agree for the most part. I don't know if this is a disagreement where Darrell, when you said that like there's the two types of people. There's the high end like PvE player, or there's the super cozy gamer. I think there's a huge gulf of people in the middle of that just do all of it. So like I think really retail appeals to almost anyone that's willing to give it a try. The exceptions would be like if you want to be that really, really high end player, but like for whatever reason you can't cope with like the level of mechanics that you see in like a mythic raid now. Those people probably won't enjoy it. Like if you are like a like the 1% of classic player and you jump into a mythic raid and you've never seen like 8 mechanics stacked on top of each other, you might not like that, but otherwise, I think it's mostly open to about anybody. Like if you want to have 20 characters that farm the invincible mount from ICC, and like that's what like gets you on the computer, you can do that. Like if you want to push keys with 5 buddies, you can do that too. So I think it's a really, really wide open area for people to pick whatever they want to do in retail now.
I think it got lost in my yapping, Alf, but I more so meant like it's the people on those bleeding edges and then the people trying to copy them, right? So that's, in my mind, that's where that gulf is. But I agree with you I agree with you 100%.
For like the people that intake content for the game, you mean? Yeah, okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. All right, so so we've all established kind of like what our side is like bringing to the table. So now we're going to do the cross appreciation type stuff. So the classic players, we're going to be kind of talking about like what retail, like, like, oh, like they do that, right? Or maybe I wanted a little bit of that flavor in my version of the game and vice versa, right? So so everyone's just kind of jumping into this one. So we're just going to kind of go round robin. So what's something the other version of the game that you're not playing, right, does that you genuinely wish yours had? And we'll start with the fence sitter. We'll start with Saint today.
The fence sitter.
Two answers, bud. Yeah,
perched on his fence.
Yeah. I think this makes it easy, right? Saint, you just pretty much be like, I wish my classic did this, and I wish my retail did that.
Crap. I think for classic TBC, I really don't have an answer.
There's nothing you wanted from retail in your.
I have an answer that I've been ready to go to give.
All right, let Karis go. Let this out and let Karis go. Let me think.
So the one thing that I don't necessarily want Mythic Plus, but I do wish there was relevant small group content in Classic. Like once you're like raiding. Like I do like once you like get to the like the raid log status of your character, like I do wish there was a reason for me to do dungeons or do anything that would be like just me and like 2 buddies or me and 3 buddies just like log on and do something.
I'm with you 100%. I think that is like, and I don't know if that's like the min-max community, right? Because like there's someone always leveling up in Classic, but I think that would be the biggest change that could make Classic like be the forever time capsule. I want to be able to go to Upper Blackrock Spire, even when I'm kitted up. Like I want to go there. I want to go to Lower Blackrock, right? Someone send me to Sunken Temple at level 60 to see if I can navigate my way through it. And you have me locked and loaded.
Can I ask a follow-up question to that?
Surely.
So do you think that the small group content that like itch, right, within like Classic, like I'm saying like vanilla TBC is filled by the alt process, right? Like
yes,
like right. Your point 100%. Was like there's always somebody leveling, so like you're gonna make an alt with your buddies and you're gonna do those 5-man dungeons, but it's gonna be at that appropriate level.
Yeah. That's I never really thought of it that way, but you're 100% right. It's like I want to do like small clip. Yeah, maybe cut that part out. Like when you want to do like small group content, you level and all with your buddy. You don't like. There's nothing. You're not like, oh, let's log on our mains and do what.
Do you think that's like a conscious like thing that was designed? Because like there's only so many hours in the day, right? And there's so much like and like the attention economy of like Classic and TBC back in the day. Do you think that they thought that through and they were like, oh, like players will just continuously level?
No, because I feel like back in the day, and maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like back in the day they expected people to have 1 character, maybe 2, and like
that was it.
Like people weren't also like if you were like a raider back in the day, you weren't week 1 full clearing the raid. Yeah. So like you don't get geared up quickly, like, and like you're not. I don't know. I feel like that wasn't like intentional, but like it kind of just like worked out that way. Yeah. So I don't know.
I would say I would say that I think they just got lucky. I think the WoW player base, and I kind of still think it's true in retail as well. I think they made just enough of a sandbox that people started to create their own versions of fun with the tools that they gave us, right? Like I think, you know, in all versions of WoW, they gave us a bucket and a shovel, and they were like, here, like build a sandcastle. And after like 4 years, they came back and they're like, look, I dug trenches too, and I made a moat, and I did this. And they're like, you did that all with just a shovel and a pail? And they were like, yeah. You left me alone for a really long time. What else was I gonna do? And they're like, you're supposed to be satisfied after you build the sandcastle. And they're like, no, that was never gonna be enough for me. That's how I feel about it. That's a good question. Saint, are you ready now?
I am ready now.
Okay, all right. Hit
All
us
right.
with it.
In classic, I really would have liked flex rating. For
Okay.
25 man, probably level difficulty. And just get rid of 10 man. Like you just have flex rating.
Okay.
Maybe 10 to 20.
I just want to clarify, not in the sod way, right? Like you want it to actually scale.
Yeah, not in the sod.
Yeah.
Like I want them to put some effort into the flex
Yeah,
rating.
yeah. The sod version, for those who don't know, is there's a minimum of 20 people, but you can enter with up to 40 people, but the numbers of like the health numbers or like how hard something hits does not change. Like you're just bringing more people and that's it.
So you're
That's
making the
so
content
weird.
easier, but like you're getting the
Yeah.
same amount of loot. So it's
Yeah,
just
same
like
loot.
you're like, oh yeah, we're cool with that. Like everyone's like, I just want to be here.
Yeah.
Which
That's
I would
so
not
weird.
want.
They do that right in retail, though. Like
It was dev time for sure. It was
the
dev
same
time.
game developer does the thing correctly in
Yeah.
one version.
Completely different developers. Do not
Yeah.
think we have the same developers.
Yeah, no,
It's
it's
an
a different
intern.
team. It's a whole different
do
team.
not have the
Yeah.
same.
I
Well,
mean, they still
Pop has
fall under the
bugs since
same.
PTR, bro. We do not.
They
have
still
the same
fall
thing.
under the same game
So does
director,
retail.
though.
We all
No, we don't.
we all work like
I'll
white
fight you
collar
with this,
based. We all work white collar based jobs. You know that they have retail in the X drive and sod was in the Y drive. All they had to do was open up the other folder and be like, do you mind if I copy the dev code for
You don't even have to ask if you mind. Like that would be such a given. Like, oh hey, retail has this done. Sweet yoink.
There's no way
doesn't make
Ian
any
has ever
sense.
talked to the classic dev. No shot, bro. They do not exist together.
Dude, he's too busy rating. He's still rating.
No shot.
Oh man, now you're making me think, because like, you know, I work in a world of engineers and coding and stuff like that, and I'm picturing like when a firm or a company is like, hey, this is our new like initiative group, and you're just like, oh, I have no idea what those people do, and you just like go back to your work day. Like that was the sod team. Like an email went out and like half the firm just didn't read it.
We're like, wait, we have another version of WoW? What?
Yep. It's a different Teams channel, and that's it. You know?
Absolutely.
Dude, what's Project Sued? I don't know, dude. I'm too busy this week. I don't really want to deal with it. I don't know. They're posting on the Microsoft Viva Engage page, dude. Like, dude, I don't have time for this. I got to get
I'm
the
glad
new
I got that
auction out.
clarification out of you though, because it sucks.
Saint, so then what would you want retail to take from Classic?
So Darrell mentioned it, why someone would love it, but I would really like professions to be simplified. I don't like them.
Perfect. I don't think we need any more.
They're too confusing. I'm too small brain for professions. I'll say it.
Hey, I mean,
I wasted way too much gold trying to level alchemy.
There's no wrong answers here. Alf, what do you wish Classic? What do you wish you could take from Classic and bring into retail?
I came into this with kind of like one thought on it, but you guys talking about like the attachment to your character earlier, I think you like really nailed it. And actually, you know, we're sitting in the mop version of Caverns of Time on all of our characters right now. And this is something that completely doesn't exist in retail for me at all. When I logged on to this, I booted up Classic and I picked my paladin. I was like, oh, hey, this is the guy that we killed Heroic Lich King on. And like, I have that attachment to this very particular character, right? Like Elf Moron is the guy that did it. Yeah, he's him. Funny enough, I am playing Pally as a main in Midnight. I could not give a shit about that character. Like, it's just one of the 3 max level paladins I have for some reason. Like, this one came from Legion Remix, and it just, I was like, oh, it's a dwarf, so I kind of want to play dwarf. Like, there's no attachment there at all. I think that it would be nice to have more of that. The other thing is like the world being alive. I mean, that's like the tagline for Classic, right? But like when I leveled in Midnight, I encountered a handful of other players in the world while I was questing and doing that kind of thing. I have no idea what their names were. I did not type a single thing to them. I if I knew their names, it wouldn't matter because I'm never going to see them again. You know, and that I think is something that they could do better. I don't know how Blizzard changes that.
You don't need to solve it, right? Like it's one of those things where it's like, you know, it's a feeling, right? And it's and that's the thing, that's like the whole point, right? Like these games aren't competing with each other, they just provide different niches. But at the same time though, it doesn't mean you can't look at the other side of the table and be like, hey, you know, I wish I had that.
Yeah, like there's always so many stories like from Classic of like you encountered this person. Like it was a PvP server, like there was some dude on the other side that you would kill on sight because you hated him. Like you've never interacted with them outside of like you've PvP'd with them, but that person was dead no matter who, like where you were.
I mean, like I would say
I
everyone
that stuff.
I was going to say, I mean, everyone that played Classic with us, like interacted with us at all, knows who Skykill is. Like it's just I don't. You just,
I wasn't even on the server, and I know who that was.
That's what I'm saying. Like
shout out to Skykill. R.I.P. to him.
We had
There was a Reddit thread about that guy. It was crazy.
Yeah.
He's a legend.
It's that type of thing. Like every Classic, like back in the day, every server had that person too. Like it was just you see him posting in like trade chat, and you're like, oh, this fucking guy again. Like you know, like.
And it's like it's interesting because like Darrell had a little bit of that, right? Bringing up like Billy Mays makes all of his gear and stuff like that. So it's like there's pieces that like to me, I'm like, okay, so it's still there, but it's not like Darrell is probably one of 10 people, 1 out of every 10 people that goes, yo, why the hell is all my gear made by Billy Mays, right? And everyone else is just like over it.
I think crafting has got to be the only place that happens in though. Like there's people I remember and talk to, but you don't encounter them. Like we played we did a M0 with a pug named Crap Factory, and I remember him because he had a really funny name. And a mount dropped in the dungeon and he got it. And now all my buddies and I are like complaining that Crap Factory stole the mount, you know, like so you get that. But again, we'll never see him again. Like that guy is gone forever.
Are zones on retail cross realm?
Yes.
That is, it's not the hugest deal to me, but that is kind of annoying. Like I like server identity.
I think they just need to restart servers. Like, hey, you're now Medivh. You know,
I think server identity died in like Kata.
It died forever.
That's part of it
but
too.
It's fun. It's fun to be a part of the server.
You guys are.
Make fun of it now.
No. I understand where you're coming from. I truly understand where you're coming from. And I agree with you on a lot of those points. I think you were just looking for something that doesn't exist anymore. Rather than looking for similarities, right? Like the Billy Mays thing, like the giggles and like the Craft Factory, like, and acknowledging that that's the way the internet works now. And as 30-year-old men, like you just gotta accept it, guys.
But dude, it does exist.
You're not. It doesn't. You're not 12 anymore.
I don't have to accept it because I can just play DBC.
I think that's the point though, right? Like in Classic in like 2020, like I mean, I don't want to drop the character's name, heaven forbid he was watching this, but like we had to like ban someone from getting loot because they were stealing devil sword leather from people killing them, and like that was like server drama. And so I was only 27, you know, so it's not like the past 4 years changed the internet, right? It's the game style that
it's the game style. Yes, absolutely. But you're looking at retail through the lens of Classic, and you're always going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Like
I don't know. I don't think it's unrealistic or outrageous to say I want to have connection to the online players in my MMO.
No, dude, I started the whole yap by saying I agreed with you. I'm not disagreeing with you.
How am I supposed to argue with you then?
I think the interesting part is we're just 5 dudes with no statistic numbers, no like
The vibe
programming.
check, brother.
Yeah, like I'm just kind of putting it out there is that like to my point saying to Alf before, I was like, I'm not asking anyone to like solve the problem here, right? Because we're not paid to do that, right? Like that's not our job. So it's just like it is an interesting piece. Like I'm curious like how like I would love to do like a survey across like all of retail players and all of classic players and get like legitimate feedback. Because like if a majority of retail players were like, oh, I wish we had server identity, like then it's up to Blizzard to solve that need, right? And if they want to do that by merging servers, if they want to do it by this, like I don't need to solve it. I'm just a guy that pays $15 a month for the past 20 plus years, right? Like I don't have to solve that problem, right? It's just interesting. But that's the other thing. Like, is it a problem, right? Do people care? Do they actually want that, or
can I
just go
offer
to
the counterpoint to it?
Yeah.
Can I offer the counterpoint? So I, through my entire stint in classic re-release, right? So 2019 through the first year of Kata, I did not interact with people outside of my friend group. I had no desire to. I am hashtag no new friends. Okay? If you got brought into my guild, you were my friend until you proved otherwise. And in which case, I will call you bad names. And we are no longer friends. I don't interact with people outside of my circle. Like in real life, in games. Like if you are my friend, you'll be my friend until you dictate otherwise. I have no urge to talk to characters on a server. I only want to talk to people that are my friends, that we're playing together. I'm cool with, dropping the difficulty of my content to play with you, right? I'll play my rat alt tank to tank your low +2s and scream about pugs with you. But I'll never be a friend with that pug unless they whisper me and we start talking, or they get invited to my guild, or they join a server that I'm in, right? I'm in a couple of different M+, community servers. And I think a lot of those characters, right, that server identity has shifted to more of the identities on Discord, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of my in-game discussion has moved from in-game, right, as being like my form of communication with the boys. Is I'm talking to you guys in Discord all day. I text you guys in Discord more than I text my wife, and she knows that, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Like that's so. Your server identity has moved from like World of Warcraft to who you are on your class Discord, right? So it exists, but not in the same form, which I think is kind of my point on that.
Gotcha. So now, perfect segue. What do you wish you could take from the classic game styles and bring into retail?
Keep talking.
I feel like I'm yapping too much.
You're fine. You're fine.
I'm messing with you.
It's a podcast. You're supposed to talk.
Yeah, this is literally the yap central.
I'm sorry. What was that, Karis?
This is a podcast. You're supposed to yap. It's all yapping.
Okay. So just I'll short and sweet. I think the two things that retail is taking from the classic like community is the taking of like token gear and turning that into the crafting system and causing you to not only get deterministic gear like you would in Wrath or TBC, but also turning that into a player interaction, I think is excellent. And they're refining the process expansion over expansion, starting from Dragonflight. And I think it's excellent. And then also making gear matter again, right? Like the names of pieces. And I think they're doing a really good job of including items that are, they call them like cantrip items, right? Where like, I think right now in Midnight, there's 2 rings that are a set. And those are like bis for everyone. So like everyone's chasing these rings from, the Mythic Dungeon pool. That's really cool. You know what I mean? Because you're going to be hyped when your boy gets that 2-piece. And like it evokes that, what Acura band feeling, right? When you get it. You know what I mean? Like, gotcha. So I think those are things that they need to incorporate into WoW more. And I think they are. And I like that about it.
Are they still doing very rare items in raids?
I think they cut a lot of that out because it was like the same problem with like Thunder Forge or Titan Forge in MoP, where people were just like salty about it, and it wasn't a feel good moment. It was like everyone else's upset moment.
Relief for one guy and 24 people are mad at you.
Yeah.
So kind of like in the same breath, right? So this is kind of like to talk about. I want to jump into like kind of the next segment, which is really more about like it's not really talking about like bad design choices, but it's just kind of like you were sad to see the game kind of go in this direction. And this is kind of open to any kind of conversation point, right? It's like you could be a classic player talking about something in retail that like kind of made them turn off from retail, or like vice versa. And I'm happy to go first to kind of like set that stage because I know it's a weird question. But so the kind of idea is like what design choice pushed you away emotionally. And this is going to be a controversial one because I think it's a great system, but personally, I don't like transmog anymore. I think it's really awesome. I think it's super cool. I love the creativity that people put into it. I think the trial of style is awesome, but it's back into that investment of the character thing. If any of you have seen my hunter in retail, I turned off transmog. I look like a TBC character. I look like a psychopath right now as I'm gearing up and I love it. I love it so much. Yeah. Nothing matches. I look weird. Yeah. And when I get that full tier set in the middle of the season, I'm going to be like, I earned that, right? That's what my character looks like. And I understand why they're doing it, right? People love it. It's a great way to show off your collection and be creative. But to me, I think it's just like, you know, I'm watching people I'm watching rogues slap people with pool noodles. And I'm like,
that's so good.
It's hysterical, right? And they're selling the kobold. They're selling the kobold outfit in the shop, and I was like, "Yo, the gang's got to roll up to Mythic Plus in this." At the same time, I'm like, it's just not. I think it's not a good thing, long term. It's a total wild take. So, Saint, I know you've been talking. You wanted your chances to talk here. So, what is one of those things for you? And you could pick either version of the game.
So more recently, actually, retail doesn't require you to use a ground mount during, but you can always fly. This is a recent thing for me, actually. I tried in the War Within, I specifically tried to do a ground mount run, but randomly in the Ringing Deeps, there's a path, like the road, it breaks off, and for whatever reason, that camp of mobs were all level 80, and I was level 71. I was like, oh, I can't progress I have to fly.
Oh, like, you had to fly over them.
I had to fly over them. It's like I just wanted to run around on my mount and experience the because back in the War Within I was way more casual and like I wasn't ready to gear my characters up right away. So I don't know. That's something I'd be interested in exploring again, but not as a mandatory you have to always be on the ground kind of thing. If it was like a separate achievement and you got like a title with it or like a mount with just doing ground mount, or like you opted into it.
Didn't they do something like that? Was it like Pathfinder or something?
But I didn't like that one either because the achievement was way more involved.
It was too much. It was so much.
It wasn't just complete the story. It was complete the story, but also get all these reputations to Exalted. And it's just like I don't want to do that. I think in Legion I never flew, actually.
I didn't do it in WoD either because it was just so much work.
So I think they need to tone that down, or at least have like an option to kind of be fun with it and award something by just doing a ground mount run. I think would be kind of cool. Because Silvermoon, Eversong, gorgeous. Love the redesign. So cool. Like I ran from Sunwell to Silvermoon City on a ground mount, and that run is just like pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I feel like a lot of people took a lot of time to design those spaces, and I'm flying over it to pick more herbs.
Oh, I'm ignoring it entirely. Like I'm going above the trees so I don't hit the trees, and so I don't see anything below the trees. You know, so I think there's something there, but I think they've done it poorly in the past, so they'd have to revisit it if they do it again.
All right, Karis, hit me with it. What design choice is pushing you away emotionally?
So there's two that came to mind when I read the question. One is kind of similar to Saints, is when they added flying in Cataclysm. It just, I was like I get, like, you get it and you're like, oh, this is kind of fun. I'm flying over Goldshire. Like, this is kind of fun. But then you're like, everyone's just in the air and no one's on the ground. And I don't see anybody. And I remember it kind of ruined World PvP, which was like alive up until that point, and then it was never the same. So there's that. And then controversial take here, maybe. I flip-flopped with it, and it really depends on which model we're talking about. But overall, I don't like the updated character models. I think a lot of them look bad. Some of them are good, but I think a lot of them look bad.
It's funny you say that because the amount of Reddit posts I've seen about the new Harrenir race and how much clipping and issues the model design has, it's like actually wild in the year 2026 that they're like, oh yeah, we didn't finish that. Like,
well, the Drakthir don't even get armor. Like, yeah, it's crazy.
Well, that I
well, yeah, sorry. But
the ones I know. Like,
I see what you mean. I think some are good, some are bad for sure.
all right.
Yeah.
Alf, hit us with your design choice.
I think it's a very temporary issue right now, but like there is so much to do right now. It feels like I'm like a first world problem type thing right now, but like you're looking at trying to like get your character going for like these first couple of weeks of the expansion. It's supposed to be busy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like it's like, oh my god, I have Prey, I have Delves, I have my M0 grind, I have my I want to get like a heroic some bosses done. I want to get a normal clear done. Like I just found out that that Raid Finder LFR drops tier and you can upgrade the tier. So I was like, God damn it, now I gotta go do LFR too.
That's the worst feeling is having to do LFR.
I
won't be doing it. I'm not doing LFR.
I did it. No. I did it. It's great. It's a highlight of my day. I do want to say though, I finally get to say it in this episode. Oh no, my steak is too juicy and my lobster is too
I was
buttery.
gonna reference that. I was gonna reference that.
We're all thinking it.
Dude. Like I feel like it's such a weird thing to say because in a month it won't matter, right? Like in a month we'll be doing Prey if we want to for like the locking off the Delve slot, and like we won't be doing obviously M0s. It'll be M plus, which is much more of a like, hey, I'm gonna go do this for fun and not like, oh, I feel like I should go do this kind of thing. But like right now it's just like, and this is like the dad, like I don't have a lot of time, woe is me, I have a family, you know, like kind of thing. But like I can't keep up with all of this crap that I need to do.
Yeah.
But it's so many opportunities to play with the boys, dude.
I know. I was gonna say I think need is the wrong word though. I think that's the part.
Well,
right?
and
that's like self-imposed. It's
a mindset thing, right? Like and it totally is. Like for me, like I want to if I see like I know how valuable hero crests are going to be, right, in the next couple of weeks, and when I see I'm only at half of what I can be for like earning it for the season so far, I'm like, man, I really want to like get all of those hero crests, you know?
Yeah.
So like it's totally a mindset thing. It's a me problem more than anything, but like it's what's affecting me, so I'm going to complain about it.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. I mean, there is a developer that randomly will watch this episode and be like, my gambling addiction design is fucking working.
Yeah, right.
Alf, you just got to reframe it, dude. Because like starting on Tuesday, we're going to be doing plus 5s and 6s for Hero Crest, and that's just more M plus with the boys.
That's true.
And it is, and maybe it's like I said, it's a temporary thing that's like this like weird because like it was a long. If you did the if you bought the get into the game early thing, like the early release stuff, it's so long from when we started playing Midnight to like the gameplay loop of season 1 is like in full effect, because even now with raids out, we're still not there yet because Mythic Plus doesn't open till Tuesday.
You should have taken like your PTO 2 weeks from when it released, actually.
Dude, I hit it with that maternity leave. My wife was like a real pro and timed this out perfectly for me.
That is big.
Darrell, what would you say, to jump to you? What's a design choice that's pushing you kind of away emotionally? And it could have been in classic as well. Like, don't feel like you need to comment on retail.
I think the removal of the boatyard from WoD was a mistake. I think they should bring that back.
Oh, shut your mouth.
I will just shut the stream down. Done.
Dude, he was holding on to that
Greatest answer.
I was waiting, dude. I want a shipyard in my player house. That's what I want.
I want the table.
They have a chance to write that wrong. They have a chance to write that wrong.
WoD 2.
I honestly, I don't think I have an answer for this.
All right.
Because like retail is in such a good spot for me as a player that like I just can't wait for Tuesday. I'm stoked. Yep. Like I'm chomping for it. Like I want it.
All right. So kind of like all right. So then I'm going to ask you a counter question since you don't have an answer for this one, and this one will be just for you. What's a feeling that you wish could exist again? I think I know the answer, but
I mean, the answer is like, I wish I had all the boys playing together.
I
Like
knew it.
that's all it is. I mean,
There's only one.
there's only
a
one
couple of them
missing.
singing.
well, no,
One
it's
missing.
not. That's not
Two
true. That's not
missing.
true. That's not true. Because like, look,
Only one or
I love
two.
Karis. There's a couple of them, and that's fine, right? Like they are having fun continuing in TBC, and I love them, and I will see them when we hang out, and we'll go hit Koreatown for karaoke. Like, I'm not worried about it. Like they're still my friends. I still love them. They get invited to all my kids' birthdays. Like they like what I mean. Like yeah, there always will be the homies, and I don't like pugs, and I think that kind of goes back to my answer of hashtag no new friends. Like I just want to play with my boys.
Love it. I knew that was going to be the answer,
Yeah,
but I still
that's-
just
yeah.
I teed you up for it. It's all good.
I appreciate it.
I wanted you to say it.
So this is where I kind of want to go into a little bit of the controversy, like a little bit of back and forth. So Darrell, you did ask for us to put a pin in the point Karis made earlier, so that we could go a little bit. So I was thinking we argue for about 10 minutes, and then we can close up.
It's not a 10-minute argument. I don't think it's a 10-minute argument. It's just M0s, like what we're doing, are heroic dungeons, right? It's a daily lockout. So when you're talking about like constantly farming for gear, that's within the M plus system, and that's like one piece of gear for 5 people. Like, and you hope it's yours.
And it's unhealthy
So-
to chase it like I do.
Yeah, and it's unhealthy to chase it the way Tim does.
Never
So-
go Grimbatol. Never go full Grimbatol like Tim did. Oh my goodness.
Well, that's the point I'm trying to make. Like, and it kind of goes back to what Alf was saying. Like, it's obviously self-imposed, but like, I will keep trying to get it. Like if nothing stops me, I'm gonna just keep trying. Like, why wouldn't
I will
I?
hold your hand if you want to go do it with us.
Yeah, so like that, but like that is self-imposed, right? Because like I think there was some interview, and I want to say it was on like the Potty C or whatever, and Dratnos was talking about it, and this was obviously the War Within, but like the BIS raid trinket between the 3 gear tiers, right? So like champion, heroic, and myth, it's like 2% between champ and heroic, and then another 2% between heroic and myth, right? So if you have like the normal raid version of it, it's only 4% worse than the mythic raid version of it, right?
It's not enough.
No, but it's self-imposed, right?
I know
So-
it is, but that's
yeah,
but
no,
that's, that's it. You know, it is self-imposed.
So,
There's no doubt about
yeah,
it.
we're kind of saying the same thing, right? Classic imposes that restriction, but that pre-bis trinket goes away, right, in raid. Maybe not in TBC, but certainly in MOP, right? Whereas in retail, you can farm it in the higher terms of like difficulty and get it. And you also have a shot at it in the vault. And then they announced the bonus rolls coming in.
I'm so excited about
Yeah,
this.
for
It's so much more than just bonus rolls, though,
Yeah.
because you can target specific things and
Yeah.
are guaranteed to get them. So that
Which is
chase for that BIS trinket is guaranteed to end at a certain point.
Yeah, you're not going to do what Tim did in Grimbatol for his.
That was unhealthy. Yeah, we were ready to like have an intervention with you, Tim.
Yeah,
I swear,
I
we were
remember that.
worried for you as
That was-
friends.
I wasn't even playing, and I was worried about your health. So perfect. Okay, so yeah. I mean, I was teasing more with the argument piece.
No,
but,
it's not an argument.
So now we kind of get into. So we are like coming towards time, and I had this idea here. So I have a bunch of different like closing questions and fun bit questions. So usually we have time to like go through and ask everyone each question, but just because there's more people here tonight, and we're hitting time here, each of you are going to get like a question to answer. If you really don't want to answer it, let me know. We have like plenty. But I'm going to ask each of you, and then you're just going to kind of go. So we're going to start with Karis here. And I was going to say a person that's only played retail, right, in the past like couple years, right? They're like, oh, I joined for Dragonflight. I love this game. It's amazing. They sign in and start playing Classic for a week, 2 weeks. What do you think is going to shock them the most about playing Classic full-time versus playing retail full-time?
And are you asking this like they have no prior knowledge?
They
of
have
Classic
no
or-
prior knowledge. They are retail babies.
They are going to be shocked that they are not max level in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like you're asking me what their thought process is 2 weeks later. They're going to be like, "Why am I level 37? Like, why am I not 60?"
Two mobs can kill me, I think would be
Yeah.
another big one too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the difficulty of leveling is so much more
Yeah.
extensive.
Okay, Perfect. Alf, I had this one for you. What is one World of Warcraft hill that you will die on, respectfully?
Oh God. Can I think about it?
You can think about it. You can
Come
think about
back.
it. Hold on to it.
Okay.
So, Darrell, I think this is a good one for you. Is being a casual player a play style or a phase of life?
Ooh.
Two things. Garrosh did nothing wrong. That's the hill you should die on. Number two, I think it's a phase of no, it's a play style. It's a play style because
Okay.
I think you can dip in and out, right? I think you can. A more hardcore player that doesn't necessarily have the time can begrudgingly be a casual in current retail WoW.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know what
good.
I mean? Like you can do the tier 11 delves, and yeah, you're going to be snoozing through it because you're used to mythic rating, but like you can still do the casual content.
Gotcha. Okay. Saint, this one I think is a good one for you because you are the fence sitter today. The classic player logs into retail. What is going to confuse the hell out of them?
Probably all the interface options that pop up as soon as you log in. It is a mess to get started.
It's like a mobile game
They
sometimes.
will not know where to start leveling. They'll wonder why there's two NPCs like Anduin showing up in the same spot. Like the starting process of a new player to retail is not friendly, and they need to work on that desperately.
Even have you played the new tutorial island thing that they've made?
I did.
The 1 to 10.
I have, and I actually think they don't let you play your character enough. There's too many vehicle quests randomly. And it's like they don't need to learn how to maneuver a vehicle or shoot from a flying griffin. They need to understand.
They did. Did you play it? Have you played it in Midnight yet? They redid it
No,
again.
I haven't done
They
it in
redid it
Midnight.
again.
Yeah.
I didn't know
I haven't
that.
either. But I
Okay,
think they
that's
added
good.
like they changed the story to like include the lore characters that you'll touch
Oh, interesting.
in War
Okay.
Within.
Well, if you still do vehicles, I think that's dumb because
I
no one needs
agree,
to learn
yeah,
how to
I
do a
agree.
vehicle. They need to learn how to do their character.
Remove every vehicle from the
Remove
game.
every
should.
vehicle.
It's
from the game.
it's not fun.
That's
No
all I'm
one
hearing.
enjoys
You're not
it.
wrong.
Saint doesn't like vehicles or mounts in the game. That's all I'm hearing.
No,
It's only
okay,
ground
hang on.
mounts. 60% speed.
Vehicle mechanics are fun for like 5 seconds. You're like, get me out of here. Let me play my character.
They did it in Wrath, and I feel like that one guy got promoted
Dude.
to senior management, and
Yeah.
he's just been saying we need more vehicles.
Flame
This is what
Leviathan
got
was
me
like,
here.
oh, this is cool. And then you do it once, you're like, that was cool. And then you do it a second time, you're like, I don't want to do this ever again. I don't want to do this. I just want to play my character like normal.
Like, what a cool gimmick this is that I never
It's
want to be
gimmicky.
forced to do
That's
again.
That's a great way of putting it. It's a gimmick.
It is. It's a total gimmick. All right, Alf, if you're ready.
Yeah, I think this might be a little spicy, I guess, but like for PvE in retail, barring cutting edge achievement, I think anybody who has the time that they can put like enough time to put into it can get any PvE achievement in this game. So that's like curve, like killing the last boss on heroic in the raid. I would say all the way up to Keystone Legend, I think is doable if you have enough time and you're willing to put the investment in your game. Like I think people hop into the game or they watch a stream or something and they get overwhelmed by the mechanics that are on the ground. But the reality is like Mythic Plus, each boss does like 3 things. And they might do all 3 of those things at the same time, but they do 3 things. Like you can, anyone can get good enough at it to be successful in PvE. Cutting Edge is a different beast. It's a different beast because like Mythic is a whole other world. Like that with Mythic is basically Blizzard. Like, okay, you want hard content here? Here's your hard content. Have fun not killing this.
Yeah.
You know, but everything else that the game is like really designed for everyone for, I think everyone can do it.
All right.
I would agree up to hero. I don't know about legend.
That's
If
maybe
I could nitpick, you know.
that's maybe a fair point. But I mean, like at the point you're getting to Keystone Legend, like you're just memorizing routes, like you're memorizing the choreography of a dungeon.
That's fair.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So we are just about to close up, and so this is like if you can kind of sum it up in like one sentence without too much each person. I just want you to kind of get your final takes on this, and we'll start with Darrell. Why does WoW still matter to you?
Because of the boys. I don't know if I'd still be playing to this level if it wasn't for like the friend group that we've cultivated over the last 6 years, which is disgusting to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean these are not just internet friends, they're real friends, and it's because of WoW. The gameplay is fun, right? Like, it's always a good time, but I don't know. There's something about like, Tim coaching me through my tank anxiety when I started tanking Mythic Plus, like it's gold, you know what I mean? It's just it's lightning in a bottle.
All right. Karis, same question.
Yeah, pretty much similar answer. Like this is gonna sound like sad to say, but I don't think it's sad. This is like my social life. Like this is how I socialize with people is through the game, and like obviously I don't play retail, but like even then, like I still I almost feel invested in your guys' like Mythic Plus runs and your raids, even though I have no idea what you're really talking about. And like it's still at the end of the day, it's still WoW, so like I can still like socialize over it, and like it's still like fun and cool.
I love your Matt Gruel posts. Keep them coming.
Yeah, no, keep that. Yeah, keep those.
man.
I'm invested in that.
The late night TBC streams are hilarious. Like they're so good.
That's why I do it.
As soon as I see you and Eric's.
Yep.
What are they getting themselves into?
I literally go to bed. I go to bed at like 1:00 in the morning, and I see the two of them in the Discord chat, and I go, I know I'm about to wake up to some of the best gold messages. Same question.
So a little different. I, in MoP specifically, have really enjoyed raid leading and kind of taking the helm of a guild in that regard. And after MoP is done, maybe we look to do that in Classic Plus or in Retail Midnight, Last Titan. So it's something I still want to continue doing because I enjoy it so much.
Yeah. All right. And then Alf, how about you?
Yeah, the social aspect is huge. Like I think the Karis and Darrell touched on it too. Like this for the most part is my social life as well. Like it's weird because it's not so much WoW that's the social life. It's the Discord I joined because of WoW. Yeah. It is my social life, and I think it's just as long as there's at least some people interested in playing, I'll probably stay playing. Especially on the trajectory that retail is going right now. I think that they're making a good game, and as long as they're making a good game and my friends want to play, I'm gonna be there doing it.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess this is kind of where I'll chime in and I'll close out here. I'd say like in ideas with their little video of housing the other week, like I think WoW is just like a second home. And as cheesy and sad as Karis was saying, but I don't think it's sad, is that like part of a home is like family and friends, and like you're all there. And someone's always been there, right? Sometimes people aren't there, right? And they're on vacation and they come back and stuff like that. And I think it's like, yeah, he just called it an addiction, but at the same time, like everyone always comes back. And I know Darrell says he's never going to pick up Classic again, but if they do announce Classic Plus, I know he will be leveling up just to see what that means, and he won't be as invested, and he's not going to interact with any plugs. He says it now, but I think as soon as
he said he'll play every 15 years, so the time he started, it'll get there.
The thing is,
if Classic Plus has an M Plus mode, Darrell will be there. He will answer the bat signal.
I'm just saying, like it really depends, right? But I'm just saying though, like without like jokes and stuff, like it's just one of those things. Like it's home. I've been in love with the story as well since Warcraft 3, so I will see this stupid story finish. And it has gotten really stupid.
You will see Xalatath's toes.
Yeah, I will see Xalatath die. But yeah, this is awesome. Thank you guys so much for coming. I did have my little closing statement here. That is, no matter the version, we're all tourists in Azeroth trying to relax and have a good time. So, and I think we've all pretty much said when, why, and how we do that. So I did want to just say thank you.
Thing?
Yeah, hit us with it.
That's kind of echoing what you just said, that at the end of the day, we're all just WoW players. And I think it benefits everybody for all versions of the game to be as good as they possibly can be. So I think a lot of people get caught up in like the retail versus classic like argument, but I think even if I have no interest in playing retail, I want retail to be really good.
Yeah.
And I think that's how everyone should feel, honestly.
Please fix the bugs in MOP.
They won't. They won't.
If it hasn't happened yet,
They will
it's
in
not
WoD.
happening.
They will in WoD.
Yeah.
Dude, the 3 devs are working on Classic Plus.
Yeah, they got to write the Hyjal quest line. But anyway, thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you all for taking the 2 hours out of your Sunday night for this one. Once everything's edited, I'll let you guys know, and we'll make the announcements from there. I think we got a lot of good clips, so thank you guys.
Hell yeah. That was fun.
Oh, yeah.
It's
a lot of fun.
awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
See you around.